The alert came at exactly 3 hours past midnight station time. Senior Administrator Vexal was in his office, reviewing supply reports, when his communication device started making loud warning sounds. He looked at the screen and saw words that made his blue scales stand up straight. Security breach detected. Sector 7. Multiple unknown entities. Cleaning units compromised. Vexal had worked on Galactic Union Station Harmony for 40 years. In all that time, he had never seen such a message. The cleaning bots were simple machines. They rolled around the station floors, picked up dust and garbage, and returned to their charging stations. They did not get compromised. They did not send security alerts. They just cleaned. He pressed the button on his desk. Security Chief Throom, report to my office immediately. While he waited, Vexal pulled up the sensor data from Sector 7. The cleaning bots in that area were sending strange signals. Their movement patterns were wrong. Some of them were going in circles. Others had stopped completely. And all of them were transmitting the same message over and over: small invaders detected. Unable to remove. Request assistance. Throom arrived within minutes. He was a Valkyrie, a species known for their size and strength. He stood 8 feet tall and had 4 arms, each one thick with muscle. His skin was like armor, gray and hard. When Throom walked into a room, everyone paid attention. "What is the situation?" Throom asked. His voice was deep like thunder. Vexal showed him the screen. "The cleaning bots in Sector 7 are reporting invaders. Small ones. They cannot remove them." Throom studied the data. His 4 eyes moved across the screen, taking in every detail. Sector 7 is where the humans live. Yes, the human delegation arrived 2 months ago. 30 adults and several of their young ones. Could this be an attack? Some kind of human weapon? Vexal thought about this. Humans were new to the Galactic Union. They had only discovered faster than light travel 50 years ago. They were curious creatures, always asking questions, always wanting to learn. But they were also strange in ways that made other species uncomfortable. They ate dead animals. They formed emotional bonds with machines. They smiled when they were angry. "I do not know," Vexal admitted. "Take a team and investigate. Use caution." Throom nodded and left the office. He gathered 10 of his best security officers, all of them armed with pulse rifles. They moved through the station corridors quickly and quietly, their boots making soft sounds on the metal floor. The station was huge. It was home to over 50,000 beings from dozens of different species. There were Korthans like Vexal, with their blue scales and long necks. There were Valkyrie like Throom, built for war but now serving as peacekeepers. There were Synthari, beings made of living crystal who communicated through light. There were Moraks, small furry creatures who were excellent at mathematics. And now there were humans. The humans had been given Sector 7 because it was away from the main population centers. Other species needed time to get used to them. Humans were loud. They laughed at strange things. They touched everything they saw. They asked too many questions, and they brought their children with them. Throom had never understood this. When the Valkyrie were young, they stayed in special training facilities until they were ready for society. They did not travel with their parents. They did not run through public spaces. They certainly did not play, but humans were different. Human children went everywhere their parents went. They made noise. They demanded attention. They seemed to have no control over their own bodies. The security team reached Sector 7. The corridor lights were dim because it was night cycle. Most of the humans would be sleeping. Throom raised his hand, signaling his team to slow down. "Scanners show movement ahead," whispered Officer Malix, a young Korthan who worked the detection equipment. "Multiple small heat signatures. They are moving fast. How small?" Throom asked. "Very small. Less than 1 meter tall." Throom tightened his grip on his rifle. What could be less than 1 meter tall and moving fast through a space station? Some kind of pest? An escaped animal from the biology labs? Or something more dangerous? They moved forward carefully. The sound of the cleaning bots grew louder. Normally the bots made a soft humming noise as they worked. But now the sound was different. There was something else mixed in with it. Something high and strange, laughter. Thrum had heard human laughter before. It was a sound they made when something pleased them. But why would there be laughter coming from a security breach? He turned the corner and saw something that made him stop completely. His team crashed into his armored back, but he did not move. He could not move. He was too surprised. A small human was sitting on top of a cleaning bot. The child had yellow hair and was wearing soft sleeping clothes. She held onto the bot's sensor array with her tiny hands. The bot rolled forward, and the child made sounds of joy. She was smiling so wide that Thrum could see all of her small white teeth. "Faster!" the child yelled. "Go faster, Rosie!" Behind her, 3 more small humans were chasing other cleaning bots. One of them, a boy with dark hair, had climbed onto his own bot and was steering it by moving his body from side to side. 2 others, a boy and a girl who looked very similar, were trying to catch a bot that kept moving away from them. "I almost got it!" the girl yelled. "No, let me try." The boy answered that the cleaning bots were rolling in all directions. Their lights were blinking. Their sensors were spinning. They were trying to do their jobs, but they could not. Small humans were sitting on them. Small humans were chasing them. Small humans were everywhere. Thrum lowered his weapon slowly. "Sir?" Officer Malix asked. "What are your orders?" Thrum did not answer right away. He was watching the little girl on the cleaning bot. She had named the machine Rosie. She was talking to it like it was alive. She was hugging its round body with her short arms. "Sir?" Malix asked again. "These are the invaders," Thrum finally said. His voice was strange. He was not sure what emotion he was feeling. Human children. They are riding the cleaning bots. The security team stood in silence. They had been ready for battle. They had expected danger. Instead, they found small humans playing with machines designed to pick up dust. A door opened behind them. A human adult came running out. She had brown hair and tired eyes. She was wearing sleeping clothes just like the children. When she saw the security team with their weapons, her face went pale. "Oh no," she said. "Oh no, oh no, oh no. Are you the guardian of these small ones?" Thrum asked. "Yes, I am Katie. I am their babysitter. I was watching them, I promise." I just closed my eyes for a moment and they were gone. She looked at the children still playing with the cleaning bots. "Lily!" "Jack, Emma." "Sam, get off those things right now." The children ignored her. The little girl named Lily steered her bot in a circle, still laughing. "But Katie, Rosie likes giving rides." "She told me so." Thrum looked at the cleaning bot. It was a machine. It did not like anything. It did not tell anyone anything. It just cleaned Dot, but the small human truly believed the bot was her friend. This was going to be a very long night. Katie tried to catch the children, but they were too fast. Every time she got close to one, the others scattered in different directions. The cleaning bots rolled around the corridor, carrying their small passengers, and Katie could only chase after them with her arms reaching out. "Please," she said to the security team. "Please help me. They will not listen to me." Thrum looked at his officers. They were trained warriors. They knew how to fight enemies and protect the station, but nobody had trained them for this. "Spread out," Thrum ordered. "Surround them. Move slowly. Do not scare them." The security team moved into position. They formed a circle around the children and the cleaning bots. The little ones did not seem worried. They kept playing, kept laughing, kept riding their machines. "Look, Rosie, we have an audience," Lily said to her cleaning bot. She waved at the security officers. "Hi, do you want to ride too?" Officer Malix looked at Thrum with confusion in his eyes. "She is offering to share her bot with us?" "Human children do that," Katie explained. She was breathing hard from running. "They share things. They want everyone to play with them." Thrum did not understand playing. Valkyrie did not play. They trained. They prepared. They worked. The idea of doing something just for fun was strange to him. We need to stop them, he said. How do we make them get off the bots? Katie thought for a moment. Food usually works, or you can tell them it is time for something better. But you cannot just grab them. They will scream. Scream? Very loudly. Human children scream when they are upset. It is a sound you do not want to hear. Throom had heard many sounds in his long career. Battle cries, explosions, the dying words of enemies. He did not think a small human could make a sound worse than any of those. He was wrong. When Officer Malix tried to lift the boy named Jack off his cleaning bot, the child opened his mouth and produced a noise that made every Valkyrie in the corridor cover their ears. It was high and sharp and seemed to go directly into Throom's brain. The other children immediately joined in. 4 small humans, all screaming at once. The cleaning bots began spinning in circles. Their programming was confused. The noise was being registered as some kind of attack. They did not know what to do. Stop! Katie yelled over the screaming. Put him down. Put him down right now. Malix released the child immediately. The boy fell back onto his cleaning bot and wrapped his arms around it protectively. Bad alien! Jack shouted. You cannot take my friend. The screaming slowly stopped. The cleaning bots calmed down. Katie put her hands over her face and made a sound that Throom's translator identified as frustration. I told you not to grab them, she said. Throom's ears were still ringing. The small one called us bad. He said the machine is his friend? Yes, kids bond with things. Toys, blankets, machines, anything. Once they decide something is their friend, they protect it. The cleaning bot is not alive. It cannot be a friend. Katie shrugged. Try explaining that to a 4-year-old. The situation was getting more complicated. Throom touched his communication device. Administrator Vexal, we have contained the security breach. Excellent. What was the threat? Human children. 4 of them. They are riding the cleaning bots. There was a long pause. They are what? Riding, sitting on top, using them as vehicles. Another pause. Why? Throom looked at the children. Lily was now teaching the twins, Emma and Sam, how to steer their bots by leaning. Jack was making engine noises with his mouth, pretending his cleaning bot was a race car. They all looked completely happy. I do not know, Throom admitted. They seem to enjoy it. Bring the human guardian to my office. We need to discuss this. Katie heard the message. Her face became worried. Am I in trouble? Are the kids in trouble? Please, they were just playing. They did not mean any harm. Throom studied her. Humans showed their emotions on their faces in ways that other species did not. He could see fear in her eyes. She was afraid for the children. The administrator just wants to understand, Throom said. Can you make the children stop now? Katie nodded. She walked over to the children and knelt down to their level. Hey, everyone. It is time to stop riding the bots. They need to rest. But Katie, Lily protested. Rosie is not tired. Yes, she is. All the bots are tired. They worked very hard today. They need to go back to their homes and sleep. The children looked at each other. Then they looked at their cleaning bots. Okay, Lily said finally. But can I ride her again tomorrow? Maybe, we will see. Now everyone off. It is way past your bedtime. One by one, the children climbed off the cleaning bots. They patted the machines gently and said goodbye to them. Jack kissed his bot on its sensor array. Emma and Sam waved at theirs as they walked away. The cleaning bots sat still for a moment. Then slowly they resumed their normal duties. They rolled across the floor, picking up dust and small pieces of trash. Their programming had returned to normal, but Throom noticed something strange. The bot that Lily had been riding, the one she called Rosie, seemed to pause near the little girl before rolling away. Its sensor lights blinked twice. Almost like a goodbye? That was impossible. Cleaning bots did not have feelings. They did not say goodbye. They were simple machines, but for just a moment, Throom was not sure. Katie gathered the children and led them back to their sleeping quarters. One of the security officers went with her to help. The rest of the team stayed in the corridor, making sure everything was back to normal. Officer Malix approached Throom. "Sir, what do we put in the report?" Throom thought about this question. In 40 years of security work, he had written thousands of reports. He had documented attacks, accidents, equipment failures, and crimes of every kind. But he had never written a report about children playing with cleaning machines. "Write the truth," he said finally. The cleaning bots reported small invaders. The invaders turned out to be human children who wanted to ride the bots for entertainment. No damage was done. Security has been restored. Should I recommend any changes to prevent this from happening again? Throom looked down the corridor. The cleaning bots were working normally now, but he kept thinking about how happy the children had looked, how they had laughed and smiled and treated the machines like living friends. "No," he said. "No recommendations. Just the facts." He was not sure why he said that. It would have been easy to suggest locking the children in at night, or programming the bots to reject passengers, or putting sensors that would alert security if the children left their rooms, but something stopped him. Maybe it was the way Lily had hugged her bot. Maybe it was the sound of the children laughing. Maybe it was the strange feeling he got when he watched them play. Whatever it was, Throom decided that this was not a problem that needed to be solved. It was something that needed to be understood, and he had no idea how to understand it. He followed the others back to the security station, his mind full of questions that he had never thought to ask before. What was playing? Why did humans do it? Why did it make them so happy? And most importantly, why did watching them make him feel something he could not name? The station returned to its normal quiet. The night cycle continued. Somewhere in Sector 7, 4 human children were sleeping in their beds, dreaming of cleaning bots that were also friends, also vehicles, also partners in Adventure. And in a charging station nearby, a cleaning bot designated Unit 7 to 42 sat quietly, its sensor lights still blinking slowly. If machines could remember, it might have been remembering the feeling of small hands holding on tight, the sound of a child's laughter. The name Rosie repeated over and over like a song, but machines could not remember. Everyone knew that, everyone was sure. Administrator Vexal had not slept since the incident. He sat in his office, reading every piece of information about humans that the Galactic Union had collected. There was a lot of data, but very little of it made sense to him. Humans formed emotional bonds with everything. They cried when their machines broke. They gave names to their vehicles and buildings. They talked to animals that could not understand them. They kept pictures of dead relatives and spoke to the images as if the dead could hear. To a Korthan, this was madness. The Korthan people were logical. They formed bonds only with other Korthans, and only when necessary for reproduction or work. They did not waste emotions on objects or animals or the dead, but humans were not Korthans. And maybe Vexal was beginning to think that was not a weakness. The door to his office opened. Security Chief Throom entered first, followed by the human woman Katie. She looked tired and nervous. Her hands were shaking slightly. "Please sit," Vexal said, pointing to a chair. Katie sat down. She kept her eyes on the floor. "I am so sorry about what happened. The children did not mean to cause problems. They were just playing, yes, playing." Vexal tapped his fingers on his desk. "Tell me about playing. What is it? Why do humans do it?" Katie looked up, surprised by the question. "You want to know about playing? I want to understand what happened tonight. My cleaning bots sent distress signals because small humans were sitting on them. I need to know why." Katie took a deep breath. "Okay, so playing is something human children do to learn about the world. When they are small, they do not understand how things work. So they experiment. They touch things, move things, ride things. It helps their brains grow. They were learning by riding cleaning bots? In a way, yes. They saw the bots moving around and their brains thought, that looks fun, I want to try it. So they climbed on. To them, it was not different from riding a bicycle or a skateboard. Vexal had read about bicycles. They were human vehicles with two wheels, powered by the rider's own legs. He had never understood why humans would choose such an inefficient form of transportation when they had machines that could move faster with less effort. But the cleaning bots are not designed for riding, he said. They are designed for cleaning. The children were using them incorrectly. Children use everything incorrectly. That is part of playing. They take things and use them in new ways. A box becomes a house. A stick becomes a sword. A cleaning bot becomes a vehicle. This is normal for human children? Completely normal. Every human child does this. If you give a kid an expensive toy, they will play with the box it came in. If you give them advanced technology, they will find a way to make it into a game. Thrum spoke up from his position by the door. The small one named Lily called her bot Rosie. She treated it like a living creature. Katie nodded. Kids give names to everything. It helps them understand the world. By giving the bot a name, Lily made it part of her world. She was not just riding a machine. She was having an adventure with a friend. Vexal leaned back in his chair. Among my people, we teach our young that machines are tools. They serve purposes. They are not friends or companions. How old are Korthan children when you teach them this? From birth. We do not allow them to develop false attachments. And do your children play? Vexal opened his mouth to answer, then stopped. He thought about his own childhood. He remembered lessons. He remembered training. He remembered being told what to do and how to do it. But he could not remember playing. No, he admitted. Korthan children do not play. We learn, then maybe that is the difference. Katie leaned forward, her fear slowly being replaced by something else. Passion, perhaps. Human children learn through play. We believe that imagination is just as important as facts. When Lily pretends her cleaning bot is a friend named Rosie, she is learning about relationships, about caring for others, about responsibility. When Jack races his bot and pretends it is a vehicle, he is learning about speed, control, and competition. They are learning while having fun. Exactly. Fun is not separate from learning for humans. They are the same thing, especially for children. Vexal looked at Thrum. The big Valkyrie was listening carefully, his 4 eyes focused on Katie. What about your people? Vexal asked him. Do Valkyrie children play? Thrum was quiet for a moment. We train. From the time we can walk, we are taught to fight. To be strong. To protect. There is no time for playing. And yet, Katie said softly, training is a kind of play. It is pretend fighting. You practice for battles that might never come. You imagine enemies that do not exist. You prepare for futures you cannot see. Thrum's eyes widened slightly. He had never thought of training that way before. The difference, Katie continued, is that we do not hide what we are doing. We call it play. We celebrate it. We understand that pretending is valuable. Maybe other species do the same things but call them something else because playing sounds too childish. Vexal stood up and walked to his window. Outside, the stars filled the darkness of space. Thousands of lights, thousands of worlds, thousands of species. Each one different. Each one strange. When we first encountered humans, he said, we thought you were primitive. Your technology was basic. Your bodies were weak. You had no natural weapons, no armor, no special abilities. We wondered how you had survived at all. And now? Now I wonder if we were looking at the wrong things. He turned back to face Katie. Your children turn cleaning bots into vehicles. Your adults build ships that cross galaxies. Both come from the same source. This ability to imagine things that do not exist and then make them real. Katie smiled. It was the first time she had smiled since entering the office. That is probably the nicest thing anyone has ever said about humans. It is not a compliment. It is an observation. But Vexal allowed himself a small smile as well. Your children caused chaos on my station tonight. They frightened my security team. They confused my cleaning bots. They broke several regulations about the proper use of station equipment. I know. I'm sorry. Do not be sorry. Be careful. Vexal returned to his desk. I am not going to punish you or the children, but I'm going to recommend that we study this behavior further. If human play is truly connected to human innovation, then the Galactic Union needs to understand it better. You want to study children playing? I want to study why humans imagine things that do not exist and then make them real. I want to know how a child who rides a cleaning bot grows up to build a starship. I want to understand the connection between play and progress. Katie nodded slowly. I can help with that. And the kids would love to show you how they play, as long as nobody tries to grab them again. Thrum made a sound that might have been embarrassment. That will not happen again, then we have an agreement. Vexal sat back down. Tomorrow, I will assemble a team of scientists to observe human children at play. We will document everything. We will analyze the data. And perhaps we will learn something that changes the way we think about young minds. Katie stood up. Thank you for being understanding. I was afraid you would ban the children from leaving their rooms. I considered it. But then I realized that would only stop the behavior. It would not help me understand it. And understanding is more important than control. Katie left the office, escorted by one of the security guards. Thrum remained, standing by the door like a statue. You are thinking something, Vexal said. What is it? Thrum was silent for a long moment. When I was young, before my training began, I used to pretend my training stick was a sword. I would fight invisible enemies and win great battles. My teachers caught me and punished me. They said imagination was a weakness. They said real warriors only thought about real things. And now? Now I wonder if they were wrong. Thrum looked at his hands, large and scarred from decades of fighting. Maybe the best warriors are the ones who can imagine victories before they happen. Maybe play is not weakness. Maybe it is strength we never learned to use. Vexal nodded slowly. Perhaps. We will find out together. Outside the office, somewhere in Sector 7, a little girl named Lily was dreaming of her friend Rosie in her dream. They raced through space together, past stars and planets, laughing all the way, and in the morning. She would wake up ready to play again. That was what humans did. That was their gift. The observation began the next morning. Chief Science Officer Miralax, a synthery whose body was made of living crystal, set up monitoring equipment throughout the human residential area. Cameras were placed in corners. Audio recorders were hidden in walls. Motion sensors were installed in the floors. This feels wrong, said Dr. Nathan Price, the human representative who had been assigned to help with the study. He was a tall man with gray hair and kind eyes. Watching children like they are science experiments. We will not interfere with their activities, Miralax assured him. We only wish to observe and learn. But why? They are just kids. They do kid things. What is so interesting about that? Miralax's crystal body pulsed with soft blue light, a sign of curiosity among synthery. Last night, your children did something that has never been recorded in galactic history. They used cleaning equipment for transportation. They formed emotional bonds with machines. They transformed ordinary objects into sources of joy. No other species does this? Really? No other species? None. Young Korthans are taught to ignore machines. Young Valkyrie are taught to use them efficiently. Young synthery do not interact with physical objects at all. Only humans turn everything into play. Dr. Price thought about this. He had grown up on Earth where playing was so normal that nobody ever questioned it. Playgrounds, toys, games, sports, they were all just part of life. He had never imagined a universe where playing was strange. What do you hope to learn? He asked. We hope to understand the connection between human play and human achievement. Your species has developed faster than any other in recorded history. 50 years ago, you could not travel faster than light. Now you are building colonies across the galaxy. We believe play may be the reason. Because we practice imagining things that do not exist? Exactly. A child who imagines riding a cleaning bot is training their brain to think in new ways. When that child grows up, they might imagine riding a rocket to another star. The same skill, just applied to bigger things. Dr. Price smiled. I never thought of it that way. To us, play is just fun. We do not think about the science behind it. Perhaps that is the secret. You do not try to be innovative. You just are. The innovation comes naturally because you never stopped playing. The first subjects of the study arrived shortly after. Lily and her friends had been told they could play anywhere they wanted in the common area. They were not told about the cameras or the scientists watching them. For the first hour, nothing unusual happened. The children ran around, chased each other, and made noise. Throom, who had been assigned to provide security, watched them with confusion. They are running in circles, he observed. What is the purpose? The purpose is fun, Dr. Price explained. They are playing tag. One person is it and tries to touch the others. If you get touched, you become it. That is it. Just running and touching? That is it. Throom shook his head. To a Velkari, all movement should have purpose. Running should lead somewhere. Touching should accomplish something. This random activity seemed like a waste of energy. But then something changed. Jack, the boy with dark hair, suddenly stopped running. He had spotted something in the corner of the room. A cleaning bot, quietly doing its work. Look, he shouted. It is one of them. The writing things. The other children immediately stopped playing tag. They all turned to look at the cleaning bot. Their eyes went wide with excitement. Can we write it? Emma asked. We are not supposed to, her twin brother Sam answered. Remember what Katie said? But Katie is not here right now. The children looked at each other. A silent communication passed between them. Even without words, they all seemed to reach the same decision at the same time. They charged toward the cleaning bot. The bot tried to roll away, but it was too slow. Jack reached it first and climbed on top. The others surrounded it, waiting for their turn. This one is mine, Jack announced. I am calling him Speedy. You cannot take all the bots? Lily protested. Where is Rosie? I want Rosie. She ran to another corner where a second cleaning bot was working. She examined its side, looking for something. This is not Rosie, she said sadly. Rosie has a scratch on her left side. This one is different. All the bots look the same, Sam pointed out. No, they do not. Rosie is special. She knows me. She likes me. Miralax was recording everything. Her crystal form pulsed rapidly with different colors, a sign of intense scientific interest. The child has memorized the physical characteristics of a specific cleaning unit, she noted into her recorder. She has assigned it unique personality traits and believes the machine has preferences. This level of attachment to inanimate objects is remarkable. Dr. Price watched Lily search for her favorite bot. There was something touching about her determination. She truly believed Rosie was different from the others. She truly believed they had a connection. Children do not see objects the same way adults do, he explained to Miralax. To Lily, Rosie is not just a machine. Rosie is a character in her story, a friend in her adventure. Losing Rosie would be like losing a real relationship, but the relationship is not real. The machine has no awareness. Does that matter? The feelings are real. The connection is real. The joy is real. Why does the machine need to feel it back? Miralax had no answer for this. Among Synthery, relationships required mutual awareness. You could not have a bond with something that did not know you existed. But humans seemed to disagree. Lily finally found her cleaning bot in a hallway just outside the common area. She made a sound of pure happiness and ran to it. Rosie, I found you. She wrapped her arms around the bot's round body. I missed you so much. Did you miss me? The bot continued its normal operations. It did not respond in any visible way, but Lily did not seem to mind. She was already climbing on top, ready for another ride. She does not need the machine to respond, Miralax observed. She creates the response in her imagination. That is the power of play, Dr. Price said. Children can make anything alive. They can make anything matter. They can make anything wonderful. Throom had been watching silently. Now he spoke up. This is why humans are dangerous. Everyone turned to look at him. Not dangerous in a bad way, he clarified. Dangerous to the old ways of thinking. We look at a cleaning bot and see a tool. Your children look at the same bot and see a friend, a vehicle, an adventure waiting to happen. They see possibilities we cannot even imagine. Is that dangerous? Dr. Price asked. Yes, because now we know our way of seeing is not the only way. We know there are other possibilities we have been missing. That knowledge changes everything. In the common area, the children had organized a race. 4 cleaning bots rolled across the floor, each one carrying a small human passenger. The children leaned forward, urging their machines to go faster. Go, Speedy, go! Come on, Rosie! Faster, faster, faster! They laughed and cheered and competed with all their hearts. They did not know they were being studied. They did not know their play was challenging centuries of galactic thinking. They were just having fun. And in that moment, watching them race across the floor on machines that were never meant to be ridden, Throom felt something strange. Something he had not felt since he was very young, before his training began. He wanted to play too. He pushed the feeling away. He was a security chief, a warrior, a professional. He did not play, but the feeling did not go away. It stayed in his heart, small but warm, like a spark waiting to become a fire. Maybe someday, he thought. Maybe someday he would learn to play again. The children finished their race. Lily won, her bot Rosie crossing the finish line first. She raised her arms in victory and made sounds of celebration. And somewhere in his chest, Throom's spark grew just a little bit brighter. 6 months passed on Station Harmony. The study of human children at play had produced more data than anyone expected. Scientists from across the Galactic Union came to observe. They watched, they recorded, they analyzed. And slowly, they began to change. Administrator Vexal stood in the newly redesigned common area of Sector 7. The room looked different now. The cleaning bots had been modified with small seats, safety rails, and padded handles. They moved a little slower than before and responded to simple voice commands from registered child users. We received the latest numbers this morning, said Miralax, standing beside him. Her crystal form glowed with satisfaction. 14 other stations have requested the same modifications. 23 planetary governments want to implement similar programs. Programs for what exactly? For play. They want their children to learn the way human children learn. Through imagination. Through fun. Through bonding with the world around them. Vexal watched as a young Corthan approached one of the modified bots. The child's blue scales flickered with uncertainty. Her parents stood nearby, encouraging her to try. Go ahead, her mother said. The humans say it is good for you. The young Corthan climbed onto the bot hesitantly. She gripped the safety rails with her small hands. The bot began to move, and for a moment the child looked scared. Then Lily appeared beside her. Do not be scared, Lily said with a smile. Rosie and I will show you how. Just lean forward to go faster and lean back to slow down. It is easy. Lily demonstrated on her own bot, the one she still called Rosie. The cleaning unit had been marked with a small pink tag so that Lily could always find it. As far as anyone knew, it was the only cleaning bot in the galaxy with a name tag. The Corthan child watched carefully. Then she leaned forward. Her bot moved faster. Her eyes went wide, and then she made a sound that nobody in the room had ever heard a Corthan make before. She giggled. Her parents looked at each other in shock. Corthan children did not giggle. They did not laugh for no reason. They did not express joy in such an uncontrolled way, but this child did. She giggled again, louder this time. Then she leaned forward more and her bot picked up speed. I am doing it, she shouted. I am riding. Lily cheered. See? I told you it was easy. Now follow me, I know all the best routes. The 2 children raced off together, their bots carrying them across the floor. A Corthan and a human, playing together like they had been friends forever. Vexal felt something strange in his chest. It was an emotion he had not felt in many years. Pride, perhaps. Or hope. Or something he did not have a word for. "This is what you wanted," Miralax observed. "Understanding. I wanted to understand why humans play. Now I see it is not enough to understand. We must participate. Do you regret the changes we have made?" Vexal thought about the question. 6 months ago, his station ran perfectly. Everything was orderly. Everything was predictable. The cleaning bots cleaned. The children stayed in their quarters. Nobody rode anything that was not designed for riding. Now there was noise. There was chaos. There was laughter echoing through corridors that had been silent for centuries. "No," he said finally. "I do not regret anything." Thrum entered the common area. He was not in his security uniform today. He wore simple clothing, the kind humans wore when they were relaxing. "Administrator," he said with a nod. "The council meeting is in 1 hour." "I remember. Are you prepared?" "I am." Thrum paused. "But first, I have a request." "What is it?" Thrum looked at the children playing. His 4 eyes followed their movements as they raced around the room. "I would like permission to participate in the play observation study. As a subject, not an observer." Vexal blinked in surprise. "You want to play?" "I want to try. I have been watching for 6 months. I have seen what play does to these children, how it makes them happy, how it helps them grow. I want to know if it can do the same for me." Miralax's crystal form pulsed with interest. "This is unprecedented. No adult Valkyrie has ever requested to participate in play activities. Then I will be the first." Thrum straightened his massive shoulders. "I was trained to be brave. Playing should not be harder than battle." Vexal considered the request. It went against everything he had been taught. Adults did not play. Adults worked. Adults were serious, but then he looked at the children racing past. He saw the joy on their faces. He heard their laughter filling the air. He watched a Korthan child and a human child becoming friends over something as simple as riding a cleaning bot. "Permission granted," he said. "But I have one condition." "What is it?" Vexal took a deep breath. He had not done anything childish in 40 years. He had not broken a single rule. He had been the perfect administrator, serious and responsible and correct in every way. "I want to try too." Miralax's crystal form flashed with surprise. Thrum's 4 eyes went wide. "You?" Thrum asked. "The station administrator? Playing? Why not? If play is important enough to change our entire approach to child development, then it is important enough for leaders to experience directly." Vexal looked at the modified cleaning bots. "Besides, I have always wondered what it feels like to ride something." An hour later, the council meeting was postponed. Administrator Vexal and Security Chief Thrum sat on cleaning bots in the middle of the common area. Their legs hung off the sides because they were too big for the child-sized seats. They held the safety rails with uncertain hands. The children watched from the sidelines, barely containing their excitement. "Go, Mr. Thrum," Jack shouted. "You can do it." "Lean forward to go faster," Lily instructed. "And do not forget to name your bot." Thrum looked at the cleaning machine beneath him. It was small and round and completely undignified for a warrior of his status. "I will call you Thunder," he said quietly. Vexal named his bot Flashdot, then they leaned forward. The bots moved. Slowly at first, then faster. Vexal felt the floor passing beneath him. He felt the air moving around his scales. He felt something he had not felt in decades. "Freedom." He laughed. It came out as a strange sound, rusty from lack of use, but unmistakably a laugh. Beside him, Thrum was making a similar sound. A deep rumbling noise that shook his armored chest. It took a moment for the children to realize what it was. The big, scary security chief was giggling. The children cheered. They climbed onto their own bots and joined the race. Humans and Korthans and a Valkyrie, all riding cleaning machines through a space station, all laughing together. Dr. Price stood at the edge of the room, watching the chaos unfold. Katie stood beside him, her mouth open in amazement. "Did you ever think you would see this?" he asked. Katie shook her head. "I did not think I would see aliens riding cleaning bots. I did not think I would see the station administrator acting like a kid. I did not think any of this was possible. That is what happens when humans show up. We make the impossible possible. We just wanted to ride the bots. We did not mean to start a revolution." Dr. Price smiled. "That is how all the best revolutions start. Not with grand plans, but with someone saying, 'Hey, that looks fun, let me try.'" In the center of the room, Lily was teaching Vexal how to steer. The administrator of Galactic Union Station Harmony was taking instructions from a human child, and he was loving every moment of it. "Turn left here," Lily shouted. "This is the fast corridor." Vexal turned left. His bot picked up speed. He laughed again, and this time the laugh came easier. Throom raced past him, his massive body somehow balancing on the tiny machine. "I am going to win," he shouted. "Not if I can help it." Vexal shouted back. They raced through the corridors of the station. Children and adults, aliens and humans, all riding cleaning bots that were never meant to be ridden, somewhere in the station's computer system. The cleaning bot programming struggled to make sense of the situation. Units were not returning to their charging stations. Units were carrying passengers. Units had been given names like Rosie, Thunder, Flash, and Speedy. The programming could not understand. But slowly, line by line, it began to adapt. A new category was added to the database. Recreational activities. The bots were not just cleaning tools anymore. They were also play equipment, and in the strangest way possible, the machines seemed happy with their new purpose. The races continued late into the night. More aliens joined. Synthery figured out how to project themselves onto bots and experience the movement through shared consciousness. Morax rode in groups of 3, calculating optimal racing lines as they went by morning. Nothing on Station Harmony was the same, but that was okay. Change, the humans had taught them, was not something to fear. Change was just another way to play, and now the whole galaxy was ready to play along.